Kawasaki had launched the all-new Z900 in 2017 in India, and I thought to myself, this isn't the kind of a motorcycle a person who has no real interest in bikes purchases. No sir, this is a stripped back naked super sport ready for whatever switchbacks you can throw at it. Its looks might be a bit cutting edge to some, but to a younger demographic it will likely suit perfectly. At the credit to Kawasaki, the refined raw design ethos of Z series holds true with the Z900. There's no traction control, no wheelie control, no 6-axis IMU and no engine modes. Just you, some ABS and the motorcycle. Personally, this reminds me of the good old days when people used to use their instincts to ride instead of relying on electronics, and I am by no means a purist. But it's refreshing that some manufacturers go against the grain of overcomplicating motorcycles. The Z900 is all about pure performance. First up, the 948cc mill is silky smooth in its delivery, no matter what RPM it is being revved at. Motoring around in city, it acts perfectly lazy at lower revs. Riding at 50 km per hour in 6th gear is doable without any knocking. Being a large engine, it does tend to heat up a little, but that is only when it lumbers around for too long. Open it up to the mid-range 3500 to 7000 RPM and the Z900 will just begin to fly, cooling down in a couple of minutes. Though it is yet to hit the power band, it certainly gives you an inkling as to what lurks beyond 7000 RPM if you dare to whack it open, because then you will not have time to think. The rev limiter will cut off power even before you realize you had to shift. Meanwhile, the front wheel has already freed itself from the duties on the tarmac. Shift into second and the whole sequence repeats itself in exactly the same way, except at higher speeds. It is only after you shift into third gear that you can actually comprehend the exact sequence of events. The brakes do a good job of reining in the Z900, and with the ABS to aid, the motorcycle is composed even under duress. Having said that, the front brakes do feel a tad muted in terms of feedback. Overall, the Z900 is fun and insane and will reward the brave but not the reckless. Purists have always defeated technology, and it seems like the Z900 is one for that kind. It has a dual channel ABS along with a slipper clutch, but it misses out on traction control, which is imperative, especially when you have such humongous amount of power waiting to be unleashed. On the other hand, Kawasaki has done a great job of relaying all the relevant information in that little digital speedometer. It reads out everything from instantaneous and average fuel economy to time, to trip meters and distance to empty, along with speed, revs, temperature and gear indicator at the same time. The Z900 has been built for the urban jungle, and it does blend in perfectly. The maneuverability, balance and accessible power makes it fun to ride in the city. Out on the highway, all you need to do is hold on to each gear a fraction longer, and within no time it will be cruising in 3 figures. It holds up very well around corners for the inspired ones, and wouldn't hold back from popping a wheelie whenever you whack it open. Sounds fun? It certainly is. The Z900 is the ideal hooligan motorcycle. 125 bhp output from the 948cc motor and the 4-cylinder whale. It handles well too. The Z900 looks and performance strike straight into the heart, not leaving much for the brain to think about.